Equity grants have become a cornerstone of modern compensation packages, especially in startups and tech companies. But what exactly are they, and why should you care? Whether you're a founder, an employee, or considering a job offer, understanding equity compensation could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars to your future. An equity grant is essentially ownership in a company provided as a form of compensation. Instead of just receiving cash for your work, you receive a piece of the business itself. This ownership stake can grow in value as the company grows, potentially creating significant wealth beyond your regular salary. Companies offer equity grants for several strategic reasons. They help attract and retain talented employees who might otherwise be lured away by higher-paying opportunities. Equity aligns employee interests with company performance, creating a workforce that's motivated to increase the company's value. For cash-strapped startups, equity compensation conserves precious capital while still offering competitive packages. The long-term nature of equity grants, typically with vesting schedules, encourages employees to stay committed to the company's growth. When it comes to equity vehicles, employers have several options. Incentive stock options, or ISOs, are common in startups and offer favorable tax treatment but come with strict rules. Non-qualified stock options, or NSOs, provide more flexibility but may trigger ordinary income tax. Restricted stock awards give actual shares subject to vesting, with taxes due at grant unless a special election is made. Restricted stock units represent rights to shares delivered upon vesting and are taxed at delivery. Some companies offer phantom stock or stock appreciation rights, which are cash-based awards tied to stock value without actual ownership. Most companies formalize these equity grants through employee plans approved by the board of directors and sometimes shareholders. These plans detail the type of equity offered, maximum shares available, and guidelines for grants. They're specifically designed to align with company goals and objectives. Vesting is a crucial concept in equity compensation. It simply means that your right to the equity becomes unconditional after certain requirements are met. Most commonly, companies require employees to remain employed for a specific period before equity vests. A typical vesting schedule spans 4 years, with no equity vesting for the first year. On the 1-year anniversary, 25% vests, with the remaining 75% vesting monthly over the next 3 years. This structure protects companies from employees who might join, receive equity, and immediately leave. For example, if you receive 1% of company shares with a 5-year vesting period, leaving before the 5-year mark means losing your interest. Stay beyond that period, and you can leave while retaining your 1% ownership. Some equity grants include acceleration provisions that affect vesting upon certain events. Single trigger acceleration speeds up vesting when a merger, acquisition, or IPO occurs. Double trigger acceleration requires both a change of control and termination without cause. Most grants also specify what happens if you resign or are terminated for cause, typically resulting in forfeiture of unvested equity. When evaluating an equity grant, understanding the percentage of ownership is more important than the raw number of shares. Before joining a company, ask management to clearly state what percentage of the company your equity represents. Companies must implement strict internal controls when granting equity to avoid legal and regulatory problems. All grants should receive board approval with clear documentation. Grant dates and pricing must align with company valuation and stock plans. Private companies issuing options typically need a 409A valuation to establish fair market value, and proper documentation prevents backdating issues that could lead to tax penalties. The tax treatment of equity grants varies significantly based on the type received. Unrestricted stock is taxed immediately on the fair market value, even though you don't receive cash. Restricted stock isn't taxed until vesting, but this can create a larger tax burden if the company's value increases. To address this, employees can file an 83B election within 30 days of the grant, choosing to pay taxes up front on the current value rather than waiting. Options with an exercise price equal to fair market value aren't taxed in the year granted. However, when exercised, you'll be taxed on the spread, the difference between the exercise price and the share's value at exercise time. Incentive stock options can qualify for favorable capital gains treatment if held for specific periods, but may trigger alternative minimum tax considerations. Founders and employees typically receive equity through different mechanisms. Founders usually get common stock near company formation, often subject to vesting to protect against premature departures. Employees generally receive smaller grants through options or RSUs, with opportunities for additional grants based on performance or promotions. Securities laws apply to equity grants, generally requiring registration with the Securities and Exchange Commission, unless exemptions apply. Fortunately, exemptions almost always exist for employee equity grants. Public companies typically file an S-8 registration statement, while private companies structure grants to qualify for exemptions. When receiving equity compensation, consider consulting with a tax advisor or attorney to optimize your approach. Strategies like 83B elections, timing option exercises, and understanding tax withholding requirements can significantly impact your financial outcome. Understanding equity grants is essential in today's business environment. Whether you're a founder distributing ownership or an employee evaluating a compensation package, knowing the types of equity, vesting schedules, tax implications, and legal requirements helps you make informed decisions that maximize value while minimizing risk. Equity can be a powerful wealth-building tool when approached with the right knowledge and strategy.